This is our demonstration of Grafixer, a tool that enables collaborative and interactive property graph repairs under graph denial constraint. This is the first page that the data owner will see, where they can upload a property graph with a CSV file. Then they can add constraints by uploading a CSV file. Here we have a list of 3 constraints, but we can also add more constraints by writing them in this box. And finally, we can apply these constraints to the graph. After the constraints are applied, we access this real-time dashboard, that is the data owner panel. On top, we can see the number of violations in the graph, the number of users registered in the repair process, and the number of interaction of the users with our graph. In the center, we have a card that will show a chart with the number of violations solved by each user per interaction, and on the right, we have a card that will show the list of users. On the bottom, we have the graph schema, where we can explore the labels of nodes and relationships in our property graph. And on the right, we have a card that will show a summary of all the repair applied by the users. On the left side, we have a sidebar with which we can navigate to the constraint page, where we can revise our uploaded constraints, a users page, where we can add more users. So for example, I can add Amedeo as a user, and I can add Angela as a user. And here we have the list of all the registered users with their username, their link to access the repair panel, and their QR code, so they can access the repair panel via smartphone. Finally, we have the setting page where we can choose the safety property of the framework and the assignment policy. To start repairing the graph, we can visit our dedicated link. This is the repair panel. On top, we can see the constraint written in natural language. And here on the left side, we have the subgraph that violates this specific constraint. We can interact with this subgraph in order to investigate the values of the properties of these nodes by hovering the nodes. And on the right, we have the contextual information of this violation. So we can see the violation highlighted in the property graph and all the neighbors of the node belonging to this violation. And since Grafixer allows collaborative repairs, a user can access the repair panel with their own link, where they are assigned with a different and independent violation. In this specific case, as the constraint says, this character does not appear in this film, and this causes the violation. To repair this inconsistency, I can pick one of the atomic transformation. So for example, in this case, I can add deletion of edge pilot. And then I can apply the transformation to the graph. In the same time, the other user can add their own transformation to solve their own assigned violation. When there are no free violations in the graph, the user will see this waiting notification, since a possible repair will cause a conflict with the repair that the other user is making on the graph. And when all the violations are fixed, the user will receive this congratulation message, and we can go back to our main dashboard, where now we can see these line charts showing the number of violations solved by each user on each interaction. And we can interact with these line charts by filtering and analyzing the performance of each user. On the bottom here, finally, we have the list of repairs made by each user, showing the number of solved violation and introduced violation. Now, of course, the introduced violation are 0, since we are using the safety property. Finally, navigating to the repair history page, we have a detailed history of repair, where we can see per each repair the original violation and the violation resulting from the repair made by the user. In this case, for example, Amedeo chose to delete both edges. In this case, instead, he deleted only the edge pilot.